so far, 24 months, 4 weeks to the next election. So far, we've seen candidates present themselves. Many have declared their ambitions of becoming president. And it is their right to actually run. And each of them will want to endear themselves to the younger generation. So what makes you feel that these numbers that you're talking about, Syrian numbers, will be in one basket?
Thank you, Fred. And history has always proven beyond reasonable doubt that the greatest impediment of societal progress has always been the static historical perspective of a system that has been built to put the young people aside, not to be on the table. And what has catapulted the young people of Kenya to come together and reason together so that we can be able to channel all our efforts towards one direction is the fact that if you are not on the dinner table, then we have to break that table because there is nothing for us without us. And we have demonstrated in unison for the past few months that we can work this thing out by ensuring, number one, we destroy the system that has put us aside. Number two, by ensuring that the rotten politicians who have been there 20, 30, 40 years, we also eliminate them because they are one of the problems that we are facing as a country. Then number three, the political cartels who are selling us rhetorics of tribe and all this other nonsense, we also ensure that we eliminate them once and for all. Then number four, and finally, we build a system that does not recognize sellouts and betrayers of the movement. And with that, I will be very sure and certain with my fellow young people seated here that we can be able to now cordon off the sellouts, betrayers, political cartels, bigotry, and political demigods, and all these other nonsense that we've been fed for years, and be able now to decide that we as young people are going to front one person who is serious, who is going to administer justice to every young person in Kenya, no matter who your father was, no matter what is your father's name.
From the candidates who are already there or a new candidate, a different one?
No matter the candidate, even if it is the ones that have already brought their aspirations forward, or because there's still some few months to go.
Yeah.
We still can then see if someone else can come, we see a way to fix that.
Definitely.
But then we have to solve this problem. There is no way. I'm a young person who is doing my 3rd degree now, and I have no job. So we want a person who is not going to consider conmanship of bring this one because he's my relative, bring that one because he's of my tribe. We want a person who is going to front competence.
Yet all these people will come and promise you the same thing.
No,
none of them will come and say,
this time we are doing thorough scrutiny and background check to ensure these people are not going to con our intentions. A person, and you have seen in the past few weeks and months that we want to ensure that we bring back accountability to leaders. Mtu akijaribu kumess na sisi tuna mess na yeye, mtu akiharibu pia sisi tunaharibu.
What we've seen is that when Fred Matiang'i came back from the US, he received a heroic welcome in Kisii. A lot of people there were young people, yes, who feel that this is a person from our region and probably represents our ideals. We see the same with other leaders in Ukambani. Natembea has something similar in western part of Kenya. And you, Clara, from your understanding, do you think that it is possible that all these people will look beyond their tribal region and proximity of the leaders who have declared their aspirations, if at all they do not by themselves choose one candidate?
Of course not. You know, there is this narrative they used, walikuwa wanatumia kitambo. You know, very many times when maybe I walk just around the streets, maybe when I go to Upper Hill where we find very many offices, and sometimes you go there and you wonder, because you go there, you find old people, old men and women in those offices, and yet here in the streets we have 99% of Gen Zs who are learned. Sometimes you go even there, you find a lady who can't even sign for you. Maybe a letter or maybe a recommended anything. Can't even sign for you because they are old, they can't do that. And this thing of tribalism, for me, I can say it still exists and it will still exist. Because now...
Even within the Gen Zs?
Perhaps 95%, because for now, if maybe a person like Ledama Olekina, the senator for Narok, I don't come from Narok, so I'm using him because I don't want to use for my county because maybe they can say, yeah. So, for example, this Senator Ledama from Narok County, if now he stands out and he says that maybe he wants to vie for presidential seat, you will see mass Gen Zs from my community, the Maasais, shouting and celebrating him because he's from my community. And that's why you find this thing, tribalism, it will still exist. For me, I think it will still exist.
Do you see that as a real challenge, Ramadan, that tribalism, if even for your case, that if a leader who you feel is ideal, and there are two leaders or three options of leaders from different places, and there's one from your community who also, maybe their qualities are at the same level, but there's one from your community, who would you choose?
First of all, before I answer your question, I'd like to say, going forward, I've been doing volunteering for the past 4 years. And that now tells you the passion I had for that job that I was doing. For me to accept to do volunteer, you do for free. So I want to say, going forward, we can also change some clause in the Constitution. Before a member of parliament, a president, a senator, a governor, a women rep, a position I feel that sometimes does not represent women. I want to believe that going forward, let them volunteer for a year without salary. No fuel, no salary, nothing. Let them commit. So after a year, we will see that actually these people have been given public funds, they have constructed schools, they are given bursaries, they are working in matatu. We don't want to see them, they have just told you. Most of these people, even myself, William Ruto, the president, His Excellency the President said, and I want to quote, he said, that he was not in a position to get a job, so he decided to run. So for me, I believed in my own interpretation, I said, because he didn't have a job, that is why he ran to get a job. Yes. You see? So I want to urge, if we get inside that parliament, let's change it. So that
volunteer for 1 year. We
volunteer for a year without salary. After a year, now people will be able to say, Ramadan, you've done a good job, pata mshahara.
All right.
If not that, to talk. The issue of tribalism. I've just told you what is happening in Isiolo. We have a problem in this country called tribalism. I myself, and it's good that we JC have said that the issue, we are tribeless. It's because where I stay today, I even don't stay with my brother, my mother. I stay with people I knew some few years ago, and we like brothers. So that is what is united the Gen Zs. We don't want tribals. Now, and the issue of Gen Z, that's why I was telling my friend here, we have a very long way to go in terms of uniting our fellow Gen Z. There are